Should you buy the Red Reaper 2 Legendary Hero Mech? Hi friends, I'm TTB. Welcome to a buying guide for Mechwarrior Online. Today we're going to talk about the Red Reaper 2 Legendary Hero Mech, new this month, a Black Knight with a shield. Clocking in at 15 bucks, coming of course once again with a battle pass with 20 different tiers, giving you various sorts of rewards. And the question is it worth buying? Well, I'm going to talk about the pros, I'm going to talk about the cons, and then afterwards I'm going to give you my bottom line. So, let's talk about the mech in question. Jump into Mechwarrior Online. Here it is, the Red Reaper 2, decked out completely with everything that it comes with, full battle pass unlocked. Now, what's the first plus side? Well, of course, it's the unique shield, basically the elephant in the room. The ability to have a shield on the mech. Right now, we only have it on the Centurion Onyx, so the Red Reaper 2 is now the first heavy mech that actually comes with a shield equipped. So that is definitely a point in its favor, uniqueness. Then we also have to talk about the whole style of the mech. You've got the metallic paint job that's nice and reflecting a little bit. You can see this in the blue that turns to purple right here with the colors I have chosen. We have the shield right here, which looks pretty cool. Of course, these smiley faces are not on it by default. I put them on there because I want people to be happy before I shoot them. Then we have, of course, the bolt-on sword that we can equip. I mean, they say it's a sword, but this looks to me like, I don't know, it's more like a blunt club because it doesn't have an edge. And then we also have this kneecap right here, which is very spiky. If that could actually do extra damage to light mechs, that would have been amazing. But overall, I would say design also with the colors right here, with the markings, it looks pretty cool. And of course, we also have the face shield right here. And if you go with the correct colors, you can actually make it look like a Space Marine a little bit. So that's actually kind of nice. In terms of hard points, we get a relatively unique set of hard points. We get a lot of energy hard points, 7 to be precise. And then we get 4 hard points for missiles. The 4 missile hard points are unique to the Red Reaper 2. No other Black Knight can actually run that. So that's actually quite nice. You can run some good alphas with it. You can run some good laser moments with that as well. As far as the playstyle is concerned, I would say that's also a plus. It's a unique playstyle. It's a playstyle of using the shield to soak damage, then quickly twisting, unloading your firepower, and then using the shield to soak damage again. So you are a brawler, and the shield is going to help you, in theory, to get a little bit closer to your targets so you can actually make your weapons be effective. Another plus is definitely the Warhorn of the Red Reaper 2. Let's go ahead and listen to that for a sec. Not a bad Warhorn. I would say that's one of the better Warhorns so far. A little bit of metal with a little bit of like an Eastern influence. I would not have been surprised to actually hear that kind of tunes in like something like Prince of Persia: Warrior Within. The true enjoyers will know that game. Had an amazing metal soundtrack, but I digress. And then the last point is the bolt-ons, I would say, are pretty nice. The sword looks pretty cool with that like carbon kind of like scorching over here. You can, of course, customize the colors as well, once again. And then, of course, the face mask with the scratches in there. That's kind of pretty nice as well. So, those are definitely some strong suits of the mech. And, of course, it also has to be said that it comes equipped, of course, with the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass in itself will give you premium time, C-bills, custom decal. Then we have extra GSP, 25 GSP here, extra mech bay, extra MC, 500 to be precise. This what C-bill cool shots, 100 C-bill cool shots. Okay, that is interesting. Get another color here, more premium time, more GSP. I think it's like 75 GSP throughout the whole thing. Cockpit items, of course. The Red Reaper 2 decal, that looks nice. It's decal. I said decal. It's decal. Another 50 GSP, so you actually get 100 GSP for this whole battle pass. Some extra money, 4 million C-bills, that's enough for an engine, another 1,500 MC, so the whole thing gives you 2,000 MC. That is also something to be worth considering, because 2,000 MC is also worth a little bit of money for sure. And of course, the final tier giving you the bolt-ons. So, all in all, neat package. Let's talk about the drawbacks. Let's talk about the drawbacks of this mech, because yes, there are drawbacks. So, let us talk first about the engine of this mech, because here's the thing, guys. This shield has a lot of armor, can go up to 227 armor and 74 structure, but it is fixed equipment, it cannot be removed, and it is heavy. All in all, it's like 7.5 tons, I believe, 6 tons for the shield, and then another 1.5 tons worth of extra armor on top of it, and that cannot be removed. So that means that if you want to run a full complement of weapons, for example this SRM's laser brawler, then you basically are forced into an XL engine, or otherwise you will crawl across the battlefield. Let's see, what kind of engine could we put? We could put in a light 300 instead, but you need the speed, guys. You're running a close range brawler, so you gotta make sure that you get into range quickly. So that basically means that you are kind of forced to run XL engines here if you want to have the ability to get into combat quickly enough. The same thing was the case, of course, for the Onyx as well. The shield just adds so much weight that you're kind of forced into that XL role. Then let's talk about the shield. The shield is nice to have, but if you look at the mech, you will see that the shield is on the right side. Which direction do you go? Potato, which is most matches in Mechwarrior Online. It is a left-hand turn for the whole match. You start running and left-hand turn for the full match. So that means that the left side of your mech is going to be exposed to the enemy, and the right side is going to be pointing at the outskirts of the map. So in a potato situation, this shield is not going to do anything for you. Another drawback of the shield is its kind of weird geometry. As you can see, there's this cutout up here as well, and the shield itself is not as big as the Onyx shield relative to the size of the mech, and that comes with a couple of problems. In my matches, and I've played at least 50 matches with the Black Knight Red Reaper 2, we found that the damage concentrates on the right side torso. Now, why is that? Well, I'll show you guys. I'll show you right here, and this is super simple to actually showcase. Let's say you've got your shield towards the enemy and you want to shoot, and you're exposing to shoot. Look at what happens right here. Boom. Side torso already exposed. Side torso exposed. Side torso exposed. Side torso full exposed. This area right here, your enemy is aiming right here, and as you're twisting, you're exposing the side torso. You take the full volley on that side torso mostly, right? Now you're shooting. Now you want to shield again. So you're twisting again to shield, and look what happens. Left side torso twists away. Right side torso is basically the full exposure right now. And as you're twisting up here, remember, there is this cutout in the shield, which means that the right side torso is exposed far longer than it needs to be. If the shield was up front here, this right here would cover the right side torso completely, but it doesn't. So if you have a mech that is same size or higher size than the Red Reaper 2, it will still hit your side torso right here as you're twisting. So both as you're opening up, as you're closing down, the right side torso is the most exposed part of your mech that's not the shield. And that means that you're concentrating all the fire, or a lot of the firepower, onto that side torso. How could PGI combat this? Well, for one, close up the shield right here. Or quirk an extra 30 armor on this side torso right here. That would be options that I could see. But yeah, we were seeing lots of damage concentrated on that side torso, and a lot of people have reported the same to me. Then, another downside of the shield, because it's relatively small, it's easy to over-twist and open up your ass to be shot in the back. So that is, of course, that's a training issue, so that's not a huge drawback, but it's something to be aware of. If you twist too far, boom, you get shot in the back and your shield does nothing for you. Then, another drawback, this is one classic bolt-on drawback. You don't see it right now, but this sword actually blocks part of your cockpit view. So on the left side of your cockpit, somewhere around here, there's going to be this giant sword. So that takes away about 5 degrees of your viewing angle, I would say. That is a little bit annoying. So unfortunately, that's the case right here. Also, because of the sword being right there, you can see that the hard points had to be modeled around it. So I would have preferred for this SRM hardpoint to be on the inside of the wrist, to be closer grouped together with the other SRM launcher, but it's out there for a reason. Yeah. I just saw that. It actually is nicely modeled around the actual graphic of the sword. Nice. Okay. Then another drawback for this mech are the quirks, because aside from extra armor that every Black Knight gets, and the extra armor that the shield gets as a quirk, just because it's there to account for the 6 tons of weight, there's nothing here. So there are no useful quirks for your weapons, especially no ranged quirks. I'd like to see like 20% SRM range, for example, or 20% Snubble CPC range, or range, just flat range, 10-15% would be useful. Maybe some cooldown, maybe some heat gen, something. There are no quirks here. Of course, that is probably because both PGI and the Cauldron didn't want to try and like overquirk this thing and feel like they dropped something that's insanely OP. But right now, at this point in time, the quirks are garbage because the quirks do not exist. And the last drawback I have is the cockpit items, because the cockpit items over the past couple of legendary mechs have been copy and paste, same style warhorn, same style hanging item, and a same style standing item. The only thing that has changed is the icons in the center. Everything else is just basically the same animation style. So I would like PGI to come up with something new because they've reused it a couple of times by now. Okay, so where do we stand for the Red Reaper 2? Should you buy it or should you hold off? Well, I think, in my opinion, it's a buy. It is a very unique mech. It's fun to play, but it has some drawbacks that you need to be aware of. It has some drawbacks that need to be fixed by PGI, namely they need to have a look at the shield geometry and side torso, as well as the crux, but then I think it is going to be even better. But right now, it's fun to play. It's not OP, definitely not pay to win, but it is pay to have something that is unique, and I think it's a good value proposition, so this one gets a thumbs up from me. Did you end up buying the mech? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much, supporters. Couldn't do it without you. If you want to join Team TTB, check out the join button right here on YouTube, super thanks button in the comment section, or of course the links to Patreon or the merch store listed in the video description.